Yeah.
Today is the Friday Live to announce what has been going on here at our end of things. Let's just jump right in.
How about we hope that you all had an amazing Christmas,
Yeah, that.
are enjoying your new year,
And that.
and if you would like to share in the comments, I would like to know if you are someone who jumps right into the new year with like goals and ambition, and January 2nd is like roaring and ready to go, or if you're someone who just kind of
Pushes that to February.
lets Christmas continue on and eases your way into the new year. Because I used to be the first, and I very much am now the second.
Or fifth.
We do the 12 days of Christmas in our house. So technically today is the 12th day of Christmas, and we still have all of our Christmas decorations up. We're gonna take a few of them down tomorrow, but most
of
next
them
week.
just stay.
And we kind of start like, I just, for the longest time I tried to figure out how to fit in goal setting and planning and like all of that into the Christmas season, and I did not like it at all. It just felt, it didn't feel right for me personally. And so I kind of just said, you know what, I'm going to let go of the January 2nd start.
Kick things off. Hoorah.
Yes.
Hoorah.
Yes. And so
she's running on all faculties.
I'm not feeling 100% today, and I'm feeling a little bit better than I was. I almost said we need to cancel the live, but I'm
did
okay.
Give up. You took my advice from our last video or 2 videos ago. Never give up.
So let's start with the giveaway.
That's always the funnest part.
Hand
me some stuff.
Here,
give me this. All right. For the giveaway, we have the screens, the sprouting book, lost the word, recipe pack, and dun,
you can't see that.
The sprouts.
3 pounds of seeds. Those aren't sprouts.
You're right, they're not. They're the seeds to start the sprouts. So we have a winner. Drum roll, please.
Okay, so for the sprouting package, we have Danielle Myers. You were comment number 62, and you
got plucked out of the bunch.
You were the winner. So, and we also have a recipe pack to give away.
Yay!
That just, a lot of the times we'll do more recipe pack giveaways. This month I just didn't have the energy to coordinate that, and we didn't put it in our videos. So
the recipe pack winner.
From the community page, we did a drawing there, and the recipe pack winner is
Amber Pearsall, I think is how you say the last name.
Yep. And Amber was comment number 16.
16.
So
congratulations. Good job, guys.
Yes.
Okie doke.
Yes.
So, we're going to take questions in the comments below. So if you have any questions while we're here, let us know. We'll keep an eye on those. But we are going to jump in and kind of give you an update.
We've got a lot of update stuff to do. And so I need to get this out of our viewer, else I won't.
You won't focus?
Focus.
Karen Miller says we celebrate 12 days also.
Yay!
So today is the Feast of the Epiphany, and we do a house blessing. Rock and roll.
Awesome.
Good for you guys. And Cheryl says congrats. Love it.
Okay. That part's done. Giveaway, cross off.
Check.
Okay. So one of the things, like, although we haven't done a ton of planning and goal setting that yet, we've done a lot of talking about the channel over the last month.
Yeah.
And we've kind of been playing around with a bunch of different ideas, and I know what we have landed on is that we are going to number one, we're going to do our best to be more consistent about the day and time that our videos come out, because somebody mentioned to me that they wake up every morning looking for our videos, and I felt really bad. Like, we are so haphazard with when our videos go out, and I don't want to make anybody do that. And so we're going to be posting on early Tuesday morning. So
Can't even give them a time.
I haven't committed to a time yet.
Ugh.
Honestly, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
And part of it is just I don't know what makes sense. Part of my I'm totally overthinking it. We should probably just pick a time. It's probably gonna be like 6 a.m. It might be like 4 a.m. so that it's 6 a.m. over
Eastern.
on the East Coast. I like 4 a.m.
Unless you're like an early bird and it's 3 a.m. in California.
I'm thinking I'm scheduling all of our emails at 4 a.m. So
Cool.
anyway, 30-minute video posted Tuesday morning. One of the reasons why we are settled on going with the shorter, not like hour and a half long video, is because part of our job as being able to get better at doing YouTube is that we need to be able to go through and rewatch our videos and to learn from them and to figure out how to make them better.
Yeah.
And when we have multiple videos that are an hour and a half long, those are the videos where we're just like, I can't
do that right this second. Yeah.
And so,
or I'll get like 20 minutes into it and then I can't finish it.
Yep.
So, plus we know that people have a lot of things going on in their lives and we want to make them easily consumable.
Yes.
So,
yes. So for those of you who and that's kind of my thing. I look at what I would be able to do, and I can regularly set aside 30 minutes to watch a YouTube video once a week. And anything more than that, there are people that I used to watch on YouTube and their videos are longer, and I stop watching them because I get behind and then I just feel like, oh, well, I'm never going to catch up. Yeah. And so eventually, someday, maybe we might go to 2 30-minute videos a week, but not right now. We don't have the capacity, I think, to do that. So, hopefully
to do it well, to where we're not just whimsically or haphazardly throwing out a video where it's actually some meat that's encouraging and helpful to you.
And hopefully you'll get
Excuse me.
You'll get the entire value of one of those hour and a half long videos packed into nice job, babe. Packed into a 30-minute package instead of having to go through
90
and the entire thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so with that, for the rest of January, the videos that we have coming we've got this week we're going to be sharing our whole beef order, and then we've got a few more videos where we're going to talk about and share our seasoning organization process. It ended up taking a lot longer than we thought, but that includes both our bulk seasonings and our spice cabinet. So we're going to continue to share that through January, and then moving forward, what our kind of overall goal is to share more of our family's entire food story. So that includes just the entire process, looking at the process that we follow, which involves taking an inventory of what we have, doing the meal planning for the month, sitting down and considering what to buy.
Basing off of all that.
That kind of ties into our what to buy email that goes out, placing our order, and then sharing our haul and how we stored it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the journey that we want to share with you. And then I'm thinking maybe in the live videos at the end, we'll share kind of a reflection on the month, what any goals that we have for the upcoming month, what projects we have planned, and all of that. So kind of like a overall recap, reflect, and whatnot. We're going to continue to share what we eat, how we make it in all of those videos. We really have enjoyed kind of incorporating, rather than doing just an instructional or just a cooking video or just an Azure haul, we've really enjoyed kind of putting that together in more of a fun to watch package. And then also sprinkling in little snippets of our life as well.
As long as that's consumable.
As long as it's not boring.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're looking at moving forward. If you have any feedback on that before we finalize our plans, we're open to suggestions.
Yes.
So you want to go through and
Yeah, we got a
take
couple
break?
things.
Okay.
Red Lantern Homestead, Kathy. What's up, Kathy? Says, for many reasons, I don't decorate at all. I didn't decorate at all this year. Normal years, it just depends on when I take everything down. Normally after New Year's. Awesome. Amber's actually here. Hello, Amber.
Hi, Amber.
She says, yay, thank you. I love your recipe packs. We print them and put them in a binder. And she says her husband is slowly working through each recipe.
Awesome.
Very cool. Let us know.
Amber, when I'm going to reply to your comment to tell you how to get me your information, and if you want, we can get you the next recipe pack since
You may
you
already
have
have this one. And then Karen Miller says, I like shorter videos unless they're instructional. Good to know. And then Kylie says, off topic, but can you maybe eventually put together a compilation of your spice cabinet makeover with a completion look? No.
It's in process. That will be coming. So what we're going to do is the last video in January, which I think comes out on the 31st, will include the final
Everything. I'm really excited. We spent, oh my goodness, Harbor has gone through and she's labeled all of the jars and she's doing a really good job at that. And then
teaching her to do vinyl is the best thing I've ever done.
I thought that was marrying me. Never mind. Okay.
Can you do me a favor?
Nope, not after that comment. Get off me.
Can you go open that door?
Yes, it's hot in here.
I'm dying.
Take your thing off.
I am gonna take my thing off. And this pregnancy tea, I'm out of my normal bulk herbs, and we used one of the pregnancy tea like sachets, and it has peppermint in it, and I don't love peppermint in my tea, especially not when I'm drinking gallons of it. So I think it's making me warm as well. Okay, anyway.
Anywho, so she's going to continue to brag about Harbor's ability to do the vinyl and how awesome that is, but it's so nice. When I go in there, it's not like I gotta pull everything out. I know exactly where everything is, and the 5 seasonings that I use in every meal almost, I know exactly where they are. I don't have to think about it anymore, which is nice.
Well, we were talking about it the other day. The number one, the spice cabinet, but number 2, just storing bulk herbs in general. Those 2 things have been a pain point in our home for over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
And I don't know why I didn't think of like tackling this sooner because
you didn't have the capacity to think about it.
You're right, I didn't.
And I'll take blame for at least 5 of those 10 years.
This is like, it's a dream. It's such a dream.
It's sweet.
And I never thought, because I think I was always overwhelmed with it, because I was like, there's not a good solution. There's not a good way to deal with this. I'm just going to give up and deal with what it is.
Well, we spent probably 4 hours bagging herbs over the course of a few days, just in our bedroom. And yeah, that was interesting. And there's at one point in time, you'll see it in the video that we put together, Christy has like 8 or 9 different types of garlic, of which
there are like 8 garlic powders.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then however many garlic granules, and then minced garlic, and yeah, I think there are 12 total.
So to answer your question, Kylie, yes, it is coming soon. And then Red Lantern says, I like both long and short, but when they're long, I do save them for watching after dinner so that I'm relaxing and watching. Too many distractions to watch a long one during the day. Totally understand.
Mhm.
Karen says, congrats, Danielle. Wild Mountain Rose says, love the whole grain baking with Harbor. Awesome. I think there is something coming up that she's going to be doing in one of the upcoming videos. I can't remember what
I
it
don't think
is.
we have any in
No
January,
baking? Okay.
but we'll definitely have quite a few in February. I guess we're making a pound cake, and that's going to be whole grain, but that's not like
Yeah.
bread.
Cheryl says, when's the next recipe pack due to come out? No pressure, just curious.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
And then Amber says, sounds perfect. I do have them. I have to buy them as soon as that email comes out.
I love it.
Well,
Okay.
thank you for your support.
Okay. So, first off, let's talk about, we're going to be making some minor tweaks to our branding. Since
There's a big plane right there.
there's a big plane.
Sorry, I saw something shiny. That's what editing does.
So,
New name.
So, since we decided, we've kind of been figuring out where we want to fit with what we're doing and how we want to serve you. And we settled into the building your food supply, and there was so many requests for recipes and cooking that we kind of decided to see
Shift
how that went.
Yep.
And it is my observation that everyone really enjoys the recipe packs and everyone really enjoys the cooking aspects of the videos. So with that, and with what I just mentioned about how we are trying to share our entire food journey of our family, our channel name is going to be slightly adjusted. And instead of a family food supply, it is going to be a family food story, since we're sharing our family food story. And with that, the branding of the actual business, technically our business is rooted in Fruitful. That's a long story that we're not going to go into right now. That's like future plans and all of that. But we are going to, a family food supply will still be around. It will still be the holding place for managing your food supply, the program, all of the bucket labels and inventory labels and all of that. Anything that has to do with managing, using, organizing, and building your food supply will be there. But with the interest in the recipe packs and a lot of the other stuff that we're
Meal
getting
planning.
questions on,
Yeah.
we've decided to put those under kind of an umbrella of it's going to be called a family food program. And then we'll have a family food supply, a family cooks from scratch, and a family meal plan. Now, a lot of this is kind of more internal, like you're not going to notice a lot of difference. The logos all look very similar. They're just in different colors so that you can differentiate. Right now, there's not going to be a big change that you're going to see from your side. A lot of it is for planning and organization on the inside, but the main reason for it is for the long run. We want to limit confusion and overwhelm in the future so that if someone is interested in cooking from scratch,
they can just,
they're not sidetracked by
organizing,
building a food supply or doing meal planning or any of that, so that we can separate the emails that go out, and we can separate so that you're not getting bombarded with different things, because we don't promote working on
everything.
800 things at once.
Yeah.
We really strongly suggest pick one thing, work towards that. And so that is our goal. That is our plan. Yes.
Cool.
So Kevin wanted me to do a pregnancy update. I am 25, almost 26 weeks pregnant, and I'm doing well. There is lots of movement and activity and kicking. The kids all love to feel the baby kick. And I think that one of my favorite parts of this pregnancy is Harbor has really taken an interest in midwifery and the idea of possibly becoming a midwife. And so she's reading and learning, and our midwife is amazing, and she comes to our house and she takes extra time to teach Harbor kind of as we go through things and walk her through everything. One of the things that Harbor's really excited to learn about on our next visit is to be able to like feel where the baby is and to kind of feel the position of the baby. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I get to be a
test subject.
A guinea pig.
Yeah.
So
one of the neat things that's coming up, oh, sorry, go ahead. You were going to talk about
what were you going to say?
the next one.
Well, what I was going to say is that with this baby coming in March or April, we have done we have spent some time examining our schedule and wanting to do our best to not commit to things that are going to push us over the edge.
Yeah.
And so we have made a hard decision because it's not necessarily what I want, but it, I think, falls in line with where God is leading us.
And I'm no longer going to be in the videos. So, see you.
Okay, butt back here.
Just kidding.
We have decided that we are going to be doing for the next 9 months, we're going to be doing seasonal recipe packs. So there will be a winter, spring, and summer recipe pack. The winter will be coming out, it's like the first or second week in February. And then I think I do have the spring one coming out at the end of March so that I have it done before the baby comes. And then the last one will be in end of June, early July.
Yeah.
And then from there, our intention is to eventually have every single month. So starting back in October, which is when we started the recipe packs, we will be updating and revamping those in October, November, December, and the holiday and whatnot. And then next year, there will be January, February, like for
That's
each
the planning,
month.
yeah.
For each month. So, another part of that is that we really wanted to make some time to provide some more resources that really help you simplify your own family food systems. And I'll be honest, when I looked at the amount of time that it takes to do a single recipe pack, I realized that I don't have enough. In addition to my weekly responsibilities, and that I don't have enough time to even fit it in if I technically wanted to. I've been squeezing time out of
You've been pulling time from other things.
And so we really want to be able to provide some extra resources. And so doing the seasonal recipe packs will give us the capacity to do that. So our goal is to take the things that could seem complicated and overwhelming and make them doable and simplified for your family.
Yeah.
And I think that I look back over my journey as providing for myself, as a wife, as a mom, and just like the food journey that I've been on in that whole time. And I think about how many things I haven't done because it just seems too daunting.
Yeah.
And so our goal is to help make things easy. And I think that that's, like, for me, that would have been huge. However long ago. And so one of the things that we are going to be working on right away is, as we just finished, our own spice cabinet and bulk
Herb seasoning,
herb and seasoning organization.
storage and stuff.
We're working on putting together some resources to help you do the same. Not necessarily exactly the same, but to follow a system that will help you do what works best for you and your family.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, like I think that was probably like it was probably the biggest pain point in our kitchen.
Well, and not just that, but it also makes cooking so much more enjoyable because you don't have to deal with the disaster. Same thing with the pantry. When we redid the pantry, that was huge. And then the food supply room, when we redid that. Because cooking is such a huge part of our everyday life. When you can make things easier or simpler, it makes it so much better.
So if you have a second and you want to drop a comment, let us know what your biggest pain point is in your kitchen.
Yeah.
Because a few months ago, I would have just told you the entire kitchen.
Yeah.
And I realized that like saying the entire kitchen isn't very helpful.
It's kind of a cop-out.
Then what happens is I don't do anything, nothing happens, nothing changes, and I just hate going into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then we tackled our working pantry. And I'm like, okay.
That's not bad.
And it's still pretty much like it was. It is behind a locked door. So that helps. And then second, we did the spice cabinet, and it's slowly we're working our way through the kitchen, and it's becoming more manageable. It's becoming so much more enjoyable to work in. And it's like, I don't know. I think it's a game changer for me personally.
Rock and roll. We have a few. Are we done with that?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, we have a few comments. Beth says, I just signed up for the email list. Is there a link that has all of your recipe books available? I can only find the holiday one.
So there is not yet. And part of that is the name change situation. I'm going to be putting together a website for the family food program, at which point all of the products will be listed there. Because I didn't feel like the recipe packs belonged on a family food supply website, and I just couldn't put them there. So, but I will say, if you sign up for the recipe pack index, I think that the email that you get might have a link for all of the recipe packs. I can also drop this video has a link to the December recipe pack, but I can also put the rest of the links in this video when we're done.
Well, we also have some help. Cheryl says, Beth, I think you need to check through the individual months to find the links for them all. There's October, November, December, and holiday. Kathy says, I can't find the holiday issue either. And then Cheryl says, if you click on the video called What We Eat plus Sub-Zero Azure drop, December video number 1, it's the first link. Thanks,
there
Cheryl.
It is. Thank you. Because yes, they are. If you like, they are in. I know that all of them are listed in the last few videos, and so they're there. But I understand it can be a pain to have to dig for them and find them, and so I am working on getting that put in a single
location,
easy to access place. There's just some logistics that have to happen for that. But like I'm pretty sure that if you download the recipe pack index, which the link to do that, I'm going to actually talk about it in just a second, is in the description box below. I'm pretty sure the email you get has a link to all of the recipe pack purchase pages. So.
Awesome. There's something cool coming up.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Are we good there?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
We have a few thank yous and all of that.
Okay. So I want to make sure that it's been December, it's been Christmas, it's been New Year's, and we did slow down on our videos, but it's actually going to continue kind of at that pace of one video a week.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched a ton of YouTube videos in the last month, so I would not be surprised if you haven't watched a ton of YouTube videos in the last month. So I want to just make sure that there's a few things that you're not missing.
Mm-hmm.
The first is the grocery guidebook.
Dun, dun, dun.
This, I'm so proud of this.
This is awesome.
This is a free download. The link is in the description box. And it is here. Do you want to show it?
I'll talk, or you talk. I'll turn pages.
Okay, so let's flip. I just want to show you a little bit about what's inside of the grocery guidebook. So, do you want to just you can just do a flip through and I'll talk.
Yep.
So that's just the table of contents. And then the next few pages are just kind of explanations on how to use each page.
I tried getting Christy to put in little stick figures, but she didn't want to. I think those little instruction manual things that they gave you on airplanes are pretty funny. So again, just detail on that.
I think that there's 30 some pages, and the way that I have it set up is that these are the pages that you're going to want to print every month. It is optimized for people who do monthly grocery shopping, but it will work for someone who does weekly grocery shopping as well. So this is the checklist. This is kind of the process that I follow before I place my Azure standard order. And if you flip, it involves just hold these open like.
Yeah. Talk's fun.
You hold them open like that. That page right there will help you incorporate our buy this month suggestions. So it will give you a place to kind of write down what you're interested in, cross out what you're not. I have arrows like yes, no, maybe so. Okay.
How you doing, neighbor?
Okay, stop. And then next there is a page here to do notes for next month.
You can't see it.
This needs to go quick and I can't do it when you're messing with it. Other grocery shopping, so if you are more of a weekly grocery shopper, you can use that. There is a weekly fill-in shopping. This is really short, so it's intended, like I have one that I print out that actually prints the same thing every week. So like lettuce, collard greens,
dairy that we need.
No, we don't do weekly dairy. This is like weekly. And then there's the project planner, which is when you order something in bulk, you have to either store it or preserve it. And so that helps you get it on your calendar, make sure you have time for it before you actually place your order. And then we have...
You don't want a bunch of bags of grain sitting around everywhere.
There's a please purchase list.
Never done that before.
There is a print as needed section. This includes the original grocery inventory that we have offered for a while now. And then there's also a buy every month checklist. This is something that you can fill out and just every month make sure that you get it. Now, what I realized is that there's two elements to that for us. We have a buy every month list, and then we also have a check every month to make sure that we have plenty.
Yeah. And
then we also have a buy until stocked, like butter, which
maple syrup.
Never seems to.
We never get that in stock.
Never seems to go down.
It's a hard one.
And then this one's really cool. This is the grocery wish list. And the reason why we did that is because
Sometimes.
Azure does not have a wish list. They have favorites, but I like to use my favorite as more of like a shopping tool of things that we do buy on a regular basis.
Pause.
What?
We had an issue.
What?
It went crazy.
What went crazy?
It said that it was stuck. We're okay now.
Okay. So we don't have an issue?
Nope, not.
Okay. So anyway, I found myself adding stuff to my Azure cart, and then I would take it out because we didn't have the time for it or it wasn't in the budget. And I didn't really have anywhere to collect all of that. And so that is now going on my grocery wish list. It's also a good place if you're watching YouTube videos on Azure hauls.
Yep, and you see something.
You can put it on this as opposed to
adding
it to your cart, because like it's great to add stuff to your cart, but then you can also get in a mess where you have too many new things to try
Or
in a month.
they don't show up.
Yeah, and then they're not on your like running list.
Yeah.
So
Uh-oh.
What?
Kathy had to go get her Costco order. She said she'd be right back. So we need to rewind and get back. Sorry, Kathy.
We also have the buying cycle quick sheet. I have gotten a lot of requests since we talk about what is on our buying cycle each month in the buy this month emails. This is a whole year overview of that, along with a seasonal produce quick sheet. We also have a bulk storage quick sheet. This
one's
one
cool.
is so helpful.
Here,
Yep, you can show that one.
All right, so all those bags we've done, storing everything, here's kind of a quick sheet and a guide to what goes in what size and how many. And
so, for example, if I am going to order 25 pounds of Great Northern beans, I just look at this. I go over to, I know I'm gonna put them in half gallon bags. And so I know that I need 7.14 Mylar bags. And so I can order all of my bulk food and I can look at this and I can say,
I got this.
Really quickly calculate, this is how many Mylar bags I need by the time our Azure order shows up.
Awesome.
So, and then lastly, there is a top 10 Azure standard tips and tricks in the back, which
those are fun.
Is most of them include links to videos that we've done on the quick tips. We are, with this whole one video a week, we are going to stop doing the individual Azure quick tips, but we will include Azure quick tip topics inside of those videos.
See, that's
so you're just gonna have to look for them.
Awesome. We did a couple questions. It says, Karen says she just printed out her grocery guidebook. Can't wait to put that in practice. Awesome.
Yay.
And then Karen also says, other than the change in font on the grocery list between the first version released and the one in the grocery guide, are there any other changes?
No, which I'm kind of disappointed in because I know that there were a few typos. And when I sat down to look over the list to find the typos, I could not find them. But I know they're there. So
yeah,
if you spot a typo, let me know and it'll be implemented in the next update.
And then Karen also says, ugh, I really wish Azure had a wish list.
Me
Right?
too. Me too.
All right.
You're going to just have to resort to the paper version.
But see, that's amazing about Christy is she solved the problem. Is like, yo, I solved it.
So, like I said, one of the things, this makes my placing our Azure order so much like quicker and easy, and it takes away mental capacity. Like it takes less mental capacity because I'm usually sitting there. I'm like, okay, what else do I have to do? Oh, I have to get the giveaway. Oh, I have to get our book. I have to pick out a book for the month. Oh, I need to do this, and I totally.
People say they like the typos, so put more in there.
Okay. Why, hello there, sweetheart.
Yo, security breach. What's next?
I mentioned that helps implement the buy this month.
Yes, there's crackers in the
Also, when you sign up for the grocery guidebook or when you're on our email list at all, you will start, I think it's next week, you will start receiving, this is what I'm really excited about too, our grocery price compare sheet. And what it is it's a spreadsheet and it has an item and then it what is the word I'm looking for? It finds the common denominator. It breaks down a price in each, like from each store to the same, like per pound or per ounce or whatever, to compare.
Puts it in a gosh, I had it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever.
They get it. It's common denominator. Anyway,
unit.
Okay,
Right there.
Okay. Anyway, and it compares the Azure pricing to Costco pricing to, I have our local bulk food store on there, which is, it's not a store, it's like a, what is it, a warehouse, distributor, Golden Organics, and then I technically have a spot for Costco through Instacart and then Costco in-store, but the problem is that we don't really go to the store a lot, and so I don't have that pricing, so I'm not really, I don't know if we're gonna go, or I don't know what we're gonna do, we'll see. Let us know if that's something that you really want, is the Costco in-store pricing, but I also think that the pricing varies from state to state.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyway,
she's looking for an excuse to go to Costco.
One of the things that I found myself doing over and over and over again was I was repetitively looking and saying, okay, we've committed to buying like as much as possible from Azure, but with all of the rising food prices, we've kind of backed off on that a little bit. And I say, frozen berries are something that Costco does have organic frozen berries, and if price matters at all, and we're going to be buying frozen berries from Costco for a while. And because it's one way to kind of alleviate the rise in food prices overall. And so, like, for peanut butter, for other things. Now, there's also a notes section on the far right that it will tell you, although the onions at Costco are way cheaper than the onions at Azure, the quality of the Azure onions are well worth it. Same thing with something like maple syrup. And it also can take into account if you buy smaller quantities at Azure versus larger quantities. So there'll be 2 line items that it'll compare. So I'm excited. I just wanted that for myself to have that quick reference, and also comparing Golden Organics. And if you have another store that is local to you, it's a spreadsheet. You can download it. You can save as, and you can edit and add to it as you want. So I think it's going to be an excellent resource that's going to save me a lot of time. And so I hope it does you too.
Heck yeah. Well. Kathy just said Costco just delivered her giant box of paper so she can print her recipe packs. Heck yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, Karen's at the unit, and that's why I read that. And it says, we don't have a bulk store in Georgia. You don't have any?
I would look into that.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily easy to find, and look for distributor, because the only reason why I know of all the places, we used to actually do a
food co-op.
Food co-op, and so I found all of the different places locally, and there's a lot, and we were able to narrow it down to our favorites.
Yeah.
And so at some point we talked about doing a video, and I picked some random state, and I was like, I'm just curious to see, and I looked, and I just did a little bit of research, and I'm like, yeah, it's the same thing there. Because
we just didn't pick Georgia, apparently.
Well, if there's a natural grocery store near you, they're getting that food from somewhere, and it's probably not too far away.
Yeah. I'm sorry that I'm eating. I'm
graham crackers.
Really hungry, and Breslin brought me graham crackers to open up, and I couldn't resist. I don't even like graham crackers, but I'm hungry.
Okay, so I've got one more thing that I want to make sure for all of you who have the recipe pack. This is the recipe pack index. I think that this is a dream for me, because
it's your dream for me.
I kept thinking, somebody would ask me where a recipe was, and I'm like, October. No, November.
Holiday. Page 43.
And so, first off, it has everything listed alphabetically, and it tells you what recipe pack it is in, and then what page number. But then, this is actually my favorite part. That's great for the kids if they want to find something, and I'm like, I don't know where it is. But in the second part, it lists by category. And so there is a list of condiments and salad dressings. There's a list of dehydrating items. There is a
Desserts.
list of desserts. And the don't waste the scraps page. And the extras and sides.
Bacon. There's a section for bacon.
So one of the things that I did not put in here that I want to eventually add in the index is a running list of all the freezer meals and the meals to take and the potluck ideas and the homemade gifts. Because that's another one of those things where I just want a quick and easy pull from list.
Yeah.
But like is somebody here?
It's a list.
Main courses, etc. So if you have not grabbed the recipe pack index, that is also in the description. That is also free.
Amber says she's so thankful for the index. It's extremely helpful.
Yay! That makes me so happy to hear.
And then Karen says, great ideas for searching in the index. And then Kathy says, are you all Instacart Plus members? It really helps with the Costco delivery costs.
Yes, absolutely.
I just learned something new.
Especially because with our parents living here, my mom also uses it. And so, I mean, between the two of us, it tells you how many hours you save shopping per whatever. I think it even tells you for the year, and it's ridiculous the amount of time that we save. What's up?
And then Judy just says, the sheet for how much storage space each bulk item takes will be very helpful as we have very little storage space and I tend to have food all over because I misestimate. LOL.
So on the front of the page, the back of the page is what shows you how many bags you need to store however much food. But on the front of it, it will also tell you if you're storing half-gallon Mylar bags in a 5-gallon bucket, it tells you how many will fit. If you're using 55-gallon drums, it'll tell you how many will fit. If you're storing pint-sized Mylar bags in a 5-gallon bucket, it will tell you how many will fit. So
awesome.
You can also determine how much bucket space or shelf space or barrel space that you need as well.
And then Kathy also says, oh, Judy, I feel you. I feel you. Awesome.
So when you sign up for either the recipe pack index or the grocery guidebook, or ideally both, you will get weekly emails from us. And some of the emails that are going to be included in that are the monthly by this month email, which we're trying to get closer to January's went out on yesterday.
Yeah. So it was the 5th, 6th, 7th?
4th?
7th?
It's the 5th. It was the 5th. It's the 6th.
Yeah, we hit January 2 hard with planning.
And you'll also be getting the updates for that grocery price compare sheet. And it's going to be something that you'll have access, you'll get a link to a digital file. And so you can click on the same link and it'll take you to any updates that have gotten made throughout the month.
Nice.
But the email will kind of highlight some of the major changes or additions that have been added.
Cool.
You'll get tips and info not found elsewhere. And then I actually thought about something.
Of course you did.
That I was thinking about maybe adding once a month, doing maybe sharing a recipe by email.
Ooh.
Since we're only doing the quarterly recipe packs.
Seasonal,
quarterly, same thing. Yeah. So that's something that may or may not be added. I had a really hard time dropping down to the seasonal recipe packs because I'm like,
there's so many things.
I have to commit so early. And for this has been great because in October, I was like, oh, I forgot I wanted to do this for fall and I wanted to do that for fall. And I'm like, oh, I can just add it to November. I just add it to December. No big deal. And with this, I'm kind of stuck. So we might just do the recipe,
in the email.
an extra recipe or so in the
Cool.
email. Yeah. Okay. Questions and answers.
She talked for an hour. I'll talk now.
Yes.
All right, we are on to the question and answering section of today's video. So now's your chance. If you have any questions for us on demand, let us know. So it says, if you have any questions, throw them. Oh, that's ours. All right. Kathy from Roadland and Hormstead asks, how did we do with the crazy bout of Christmas cold that came through? Good. It was cold. We only had one pipe freeze, but that was totally expected because we have one pipe that freezes in the basement
Whenever it gets cold.
Whenever it gets cold. We've tried putting heaters next to it, and if it gets below, like
It's just poorly installed.
it's just it's a really bad install. But if it gets below 10, it's freezing.
I
So,
continued to make Kevin sleep in the freezing cold with the door cracked.
yeah. So I'm usually a warm person, but she has totally blown me out of the water with like hot. Like she'll be like covers off.
And I'm gonna ask you to go open that
the door
door
again.
again
Yeah,
because
Rosie
it's
closed it.
shut.
I know.
I'm dying.
She's really, really warm, which is funny. So
I'm so thankful it's winter.
Yeah. You would be in trouble.
I don't know what I would do.
So it was good. I know that it was cold everywhere. Everybody got it.
Will you go open that door?
Open that door. You can't do that. You can't
Like
take
all
these.
the way.
So I know everybody had a cold snap. We did good.
That's good. Thank you.
I don't think there were any other issues. There you go. We have a couple more. Scram. There's in one of the videos we just did, I don't know if it has come out yet or not, or if I just edited, I don't remember. But I open up the door, and every time a door opened, it was just this cloud of steam went outside. It was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then we tried throwing hot water in the air when it was like -20, just to see what would happen. That was fun.
You know, being that we have farmed and we've had almost every type of animal, I know how stressful cold and weather can be. And I'm going to be perfectly honest and just say that I am taking in and enjoying the peace and lack of responsibility that we have when it gets really cold right now.
All we have to do is just
because eventually we want to go back into farming, and for now we're just enjoying the season that we're in and appreciating moments like that, and understanding that it can be a lot of work.
So Judy says she is now eating a very low carb, and she wants to know if she can sprout her beans. She has sprouted before, but not beans. Wants to know if they should be grown as microgreens. Excellent question.
I'm going to give you the answers. I wrote out a bunch of stuff on this one.
Well, I was just going to give her the straight answer. Or a quick easy. It's just yes. You have to be careful. Fresh beans are best. Different beans will do different things.
Okay, just hold on. So I looked it up. I looked up just the number one, knowing the difference in carbs and understanding that. What is that beeping noise?
I think it's a Fitbit thing.
Okay.
Please stop. Thanks.
Mung beans go from 9.8 grams of carbs. 9.6 grams of carbs down to 5.9 when you sprout them. So
it's almost 40%.
Fresh mung bean has 9.6, and when they're sprouted, they drop down to 5.9. Depending on how low carb you're doing, I don't know if that's even going to be low enough.
Yeah.
We've sprouted a lot of seeds. We've sprouted mung beans. We've never done like black beans or pinto beans or any of that. I'm definitely interested in experimenting, but one of the things is that the mung beans they're big. They're not like seed sprouts. And they're not like, for me personally, they're not like a throw on your salad sort of a thing. They're more of like a cook up and throw in a stir fry. And I love getting beans. Like I used to love getting bean sprouts from the store and putting those in a stir fry. But the last few mung bean batches that we have sprouted did not turn out great.
Yeah, no.
And so I'm committed to to making it work.
Yeah. One of the things I noticed when I looked it up a while ago, was more frequent rinsing. You want to keep them cool and no sunlight. You want to keep them in a cool, dark spot. Don't worry about dry. Everything's like cool, dry, dark. Yeah. So rinse them if you're doing meal prep things, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Just rinse them at those mealtime prep times. I did read that the Great Northern white beans sprout and are really delicious, according to somebody on the internet. Must be true.
Well, and there's a lot of ideas in that sprouting book that we have from Azure that we're giving away.
Yep.
And I'm going to be honest and say we've never done microgreens, mainly because the space, sprouts in a jar,
so easy.
It works.
Yeah.
Where the microgreens and you need to actually have like the flats and be able to. They take up too much space for us for right now for what we would need. So I mentioned you can sprout beans. Will it be low carb enough? And then like just to think about how will you actually use them, because like we mentioned, not necessarily great on a salad or just like I don't like them fresh, but they're and I don't know. I don't know enough about that. But if you just have a lot of leftover beans and you need something to do with them, I have some other ideas for you that might not include sprouting. First up, like looking at how many do you really have, and is this a forever commitment? Like if you're low carb forever and this is the way it's going to be, then you want a permanent solution. Whereas if this is going to be for months or even a year or two, then throw them in some Mylar bags with some oxygen absorbers and they'll be good forever. I mean, not really forever, but forever.
As long as it's in a cool, dry spot. Dark.
Yes. If this is a forever commitment and you just need to get rid of them and you don't want to throw them out, dependent on what kind you have, what your variety is, you could do a like a X number of bean mix and give those away. They look really pretty in jars.
Yep.
We've done that one year's Christmas presents.
Yep.
And another option is like I don't know if you have a pressure canner, I would recommend pressure canning them. Like if you have pinto beans or black beans or garbanzo beans, any of that, they make really good like side dishes for Mexican, or like the garbanzo beans to make hummus, which makes a really great dish if you have people coming over or if you're sending a meal to someone else, like delivering, not like shipping. And the reason why I say to pressure can them is because if you're not in the regular habit of soaking the beans and using the beans, it's easy to forget that step. And so I would personally want them like ready to go for, somebody's coming over. I can dump a can of pinto beans and make up some refried beans and we're good. So those are my ideas. Do you have any other thoughts?
Nope.
Okay.
If you're looking for additional energy, we did a low carb thing for a while and we had just increased protein and fat.
Yeah, because we've done gluten free, but then we've also done all like totally grain free
for a while. Yeah. And when I say
we're gonna get to that because somebody asked about gluten free flour. Yeah. So we can go on that later.
But like a lot of eggs, avocado, steak, breakfasts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Becca Scraps says, "What is our favorite seeds to sprout, and if there are any that we disliked?" Why'd you scratch that off?
Well, it's one of them because I didn't want you to because I was gonna say clover.
Clover was amazing.
Clover and alfalfa.
Broccoli was questionable. But I think we're going to give it a go again.
Well, the broccoli and the radish, I do not personally like by themselves. But when you mix them with other seeds, I think that they are delicious because they taste
spicy.
like what they are, and the radish is really spicy. And so if you just do radish seeds, you're going to want to either just use a light amount of them mixed on like a salad or a sandwich or something, and otherwise you can do a mix where you have like, you're gonna have to talk. I've got a frog in my throat.
I don't know. I was just thinking about it though. I'm gonna go off of what you said. I love the sprouts because it's a live food, and you're putting something that's so it's I don't know.
Oysters.
Like I was about to say, oysters is one of those live food things, and somebody loves oysters and somebody doesn't love oysters. So we went out to eat one day at an oyster bar. She had like 30 oysters, and it was
they're delicious.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So the only, and I have here that the mung beans, I want, like, that's my kryptonite right now, and I'm bound and determined to figure it out because
I have no kryptonite if you don't include oysters. I can do them. It's just I don't know.
They're so good for you.
I know. They're expensive too.
You have to go to enjoy them.
We need to go out to go get them because getting them like at home is not the same.
Okay.
So, all right, Jessica Aldaz asked what our favorite Azure item is.
And she was very specific. You have just one.
One. Okay.
So I picked mine, but what's yours?
I'm gonna go with maple syrup.
Maple syrup. I am gonna go with. I first wrote down raw cheese, and in the spirit of being totally honest and picking just one, if I had to pick just one, I would go with the jalapeno jack.
I'm totally there.
Because
it can go in anything and it's delicious.
Like you can use it as a substitute for cheddar in almost anything that you make, like from mac and cheese to Mexican dishes.
Yep. And you can put it on twice baked potatoes. You can put it in salads. You can put it in mac and cheese, twice potatoes, or twice baked potatoes. Now granted,
we do get the cheddar.
Salad.
And smoked cheddar.
Yeah.
And feta.
And if they have like a Gouda.
I still haven't gotten they have a Parmesan that I need to try because I think it's actually cheaper than Costco's Parmesan.
Okay. All right, so just hope that helps. Maple syrup, definitely. And then Catherine Gramlich, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, I'm sorry, asked if we have leftovers and do we eat them? Yes and yes. Sometimes that's what my go-to quick, we have nothing to eat. Let's just grab whatever we had at the last meal and reheat it if there's leftovers.
So I wrote, yes, leftovers are a goal.
Nice. Christy always like, you need to make more food so we have leftovers. So
if there's not leftovers, that meal was a waste of time.
Yeah.
And we normally, like I would say 2 to 3 times, and you will take them to work as well.
Yes. Kathy says, no connection. Oh, I was going to read those. Okay, here we go. She says, I'm of an age where I'm boiling all the time. I slept with the fan in the window blowing at me last night. It was 47 degrees in the bedroom this morning. 47?
I think we've gone down to 42.
I think she was 36. There was one morning
maybe
where it
I can't
was
check. My phone is
frigid. I mean, like, is cold. And then Cheryl says, okay, at the risk of sounding like the most... She says, okay, she's at the risk of sounding like the most spoiled person ever, but we have a mattress topper that we can individually set our own temperature preferences. It's a game changer.
Is it like the chili, I think?
I don't know.
Because
let us know, Cheryl.
That was something that I had on my wish list when it was when I got pregnant in January and we had the miscarriage. I was looking at a September baby and I was like, I'm not going to make it through the summer. And that was something that I was committed to getting.
Yeah, totally. So. And then, I don't know how you say this, Richo on demand. Sorry. She says, hey y'all, sorry to interrupt. Just been watching and supporting you silently. Thanks. Karen says, I like the taste, but I have texture issues with beans. Have any tips or recipes to disguise them? Been wanting to blend them.
Like dried beans?
Been wanting to blend them to make a sauce from them.
I'm assuming dried beans, not sprouted. I don't think you would blend sprouted beans.
No, I'm thinking she has texture issues with beans. Let us know, Karen, if it's like the sprouted texture or if it's the made texture that you don't like. We made a cowboy caviar that was amazing, and yeah, that was good. Try doing that one. And then we put beans in chili. You could blend those a little bit more. You could do refried beans.
So the refried beans that we
Those
do
are
are
really
delicious.
She says canned beans or soaked dry beans.
Okay.
Yeah, so reshoe. That's how you pronounce that. Awesome, thank you. And so this says, yeah, the space for microgreens. Judy says, yeah, the space for microgreens is an issue. I have a small table where I do seed starting, so no microgreens when that's going on. Glad Great Northerns are good sprouting. I also have those. Awesome. And then Cheryl also says, we have the 8 sleep. It's so, hang on a second, so worth it. Her words, not mine.
That sounds familiar.
So.
I think I can see the logo, actually.
Okay. And then Karen says, by the way, I have a chili pad and it saved my marriage. Good job.
I love it. I love it.
I don't know what that is. Is that, I don't know, someone did something there. So, anyway, I'll let you read that. And then Amber asked if we have a favorite gluten-free flour blend. Can't talk. She was diagnosed with Hashimoto's and is experimenting. Looking forward to seeing us. We'll be watching with her husband and hopes we had a wonderful holiday. Yes, we had a fantastic holiday. Thank you. I'm hoping that your husband and you guys get to hang out with us for a little bit as we go north of the 1 hour mark that we said we weren't going to do, but I don't know why we even had that conversation because we always go over an hour. So
there were a lot of updates.
Yes, there were. So number one, at a quick glance, I loved was it Bob's?
No.
What was it? It was in the blue packaging. Pamela's gluten-free flour mix. When we first started trying with it gluten-free, that was a good one.
And wherever I was buying it from, it stopped offering
it. Yeah.
But
so,
do you want to read my notes?
Yeah, I'll just read
We
notes.
didn't talk about this before.
No, it's okay. We've gone both grain-free in the past. We tried Bob's Red Mill to get a 1-to-1.
No, it's called Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1. Yeah. Gluten-free baking flour.
Yep.
We like
that was
Harbor
pretty
and I
good.
have used that in the last few years.
But one of the things we noticed, and I was going to actually say this, is it's so expensive because we have to consume basically an entire bag, and those bags are expensive for just one meal. Mm-hmm. And we said, heck with the cheese, let's just eat the gluten. We're gonna end up, gluten or not gluten, we're gonna end up.
She doesn't have an option.
Yes,
I know. She doesn't have an option. I know. So here's the thing: is that what I ended up doing back a number of years ago when we were doing gluten free and grain free. Yep. Because when you do gluten free, like you can use the brown rice flour and all of that, or white rice, any of the rice flours. But when you go grain free, what I did was I was just really picky about looking for recipes that didn't call for a blend. Yeah. And I stocked up on coconut flour and almond flour and cassava, tapioca and cassava,
all arrowroot,
and all of that. Mm-hmm. And if there was one that called for a blend, we would make it.
Yeah, we'd make it
out of those. And now we were not in that season long enough to get to the point where I can tell you
which one.
We came up with this recipe and it's perfect.
Well, I will say I did a fluffy gluten-free mix almond. It was, what did I call it? It was a gluten-free high-protein packed pancake is what I think I called it. Its official name. It was a gluten-free pancake.
The gluten-free pancakes were awesome.
Yeah, those were good. Maple syrup, a couple scoops of some protein powder, lots of eggs. They were thick. And they were delicious.
So someday,
lots of syrup.
This is like ways down the road. Someday, I would love to have someone help like make a recipe pack that
catering towards people who have
is
food
gluten free.
sensitivities. Yeah.
Like so, like to have a line of recipe packs that are gluten free,
Yeah.
that are kind of like they go right alongside the Comstock Plan recipe packs, but they're more for like gluten free. And then I know that we've got some vegan people that are here. I would
Yeah.
love to have someone put together like a vegan version where it might not have all the exact same recipes. It's not just a straight sub out, but maybe there's, you know, instead of this, there's going to be that.
But
That's in, or like, and then, I don't know. I'm not going to go into the other.
right. Well, the whole thing, we're really trying to limit our SKUs so that we're more efficient with our space and our resources. We really enjoy making things from scratch. So
Yeah, so it's easier to just stock up on the flat, like the main ingredients, and then to make our own, or like I said, find those recipes that which I know that doesn't help, especially if you're trying to take one of the recipes from our recipe pack and turn
then
it
convert it.
gluten free.
Yeah, that's really hard. Amber,
If you come up with a recipe for a gluten-free flour that works really well with our recipes, please let me know.
Yeah, let us know. Amber says that they've tried the panless too. We order from VitaCost. She's been using blends, but she wanted to grind her own gluten-free flour, but didn't know where to start.
So we used to grind the rice.
Yep, we used to grind rice, and
I always had a hard time because I never did the research, and I kept thinking to myself,
we're doing it
I feel
wrong.
like I'm doing this wrong. I feel like you have to like cook it and then dry it, or sprout it and then dry it, or something,
Yeah.
and not just grind it. And I have no idea.
So one of the things that I would say if I were in your position, this is totally just me because I'm a pretty basic, boring, plain kind of guy. I would just say I'm not going to even bother with it, and I will just learn to live with proteins and fats, and be okay with that.
And that's actually another thing that we did is that we cut the amount of
baked
anything
bread.
that included any sort of flour.
Yeah, a lot of chicken salad
to work with that.
And we learned how to make chicken salad amazing by adding things in the salad that made it better. Microgreens, one of them, or not microgreens, excuse me, sprouts. But you know, we would do we would do all of our homemade salad dressings. We'd make those, you know, exactly what we wanted, and then bacon, Cobb salads, things like that. Just really, really, really awesome salads, like hearty. Grinding oat flour would be easy. Yes, Karen, we did do that as well. I just didn't know. I didn't want to recommend oat because you'd have to get the gluten-free oats. That was going to be a separate item. And then I don't know about Hashimoto's if you can have oat because it is carby. I don't know. And then D Atwood says, hi from KC. I'm assuming Kansas City. What's up? So that was a mouthful. Oops, I clicked something. I don't know. Trina Jesperson.
You're like 800 degrees. Don't touch me.
Well, you married me. Says, asked how often we would make new recipe packs. We just covered that earlier, but in case you missed it, we are doing one every quarter through September.
Yes.
So we're gonna do a winter, spring, summer recipe pack, and then we're going to be updating the ones that we did last year in the fall. So October's is going to get a kick in the butt through January, and then ideally in 2024 we'll have flying cars and we don't have to worry about recipe packs.
We will be doing. Our goal is to have one for every month.
Yeah. So
my goal is to have a seasonal book for each season that includes 3 months of recipe packs, because I feel like that is enough variety in food for me to not get sick of what we eat.
Yeah.
So
that's a problem. I can eat the same thing over. Okay. Karen Miller is about to get their first Azure order after finding a drop about 30 minutes away and wants to know what our favorite items are. Awesome. Welcome to the Azure family. Dairy, produce, bulk items like grain, beans, seeds, nuts, etc. Basically everything that Azure
Those are
sells.
mine.
Oh, those are yours?
Those are mine. Yours is maple syrup.
Yeah, mine's maple syrup. I do like the oh gosh, brain fart. We just talked about it.
Like here?
Yes, I'm alive. I'm having a really hard time grinding it. Oats. Jeez, I don't know why I couldn't come up with the word oats. Again, that's one of those bulk items, and it's a grain, but their oatmeal is really good. I really like their oatmeal.
Rolled oats.
Rolled oats.
They don't sell oatmeal.
Yeah. Okay. And then Donna Liner asked how old we were when we met, and how did we meet?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell that story?
I'll say how old we were.
Okay.
I was 24.
Technically, when we first met, you were 23.
For like a month.
Yeah. A couple weeks.
Yeah. Not
So that doesn't really count.
And you were 18?
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun journey we went on.
Went on.
Yes.
We're not still on that journey.
We're well, we don't come across much of anything in life now that our age difference is an issue or concern to anyone around us.
Yeah. When you are 18 and in high school and
yeah, not only was he 18, but he was actually still in high school.
Yeah.
And I was in youth ministry.
when you're 18 and in high school and you meet someone who is like an adult and they want to date you.
They want to date you.
Was there another way to call it? You wanted to go out with me. You wanted to be my girlfriend.
Did I chase after you?
Oh yeah, okay. Well, you are pregnant, you know. I don't think we have to explain why it happens a certain way. There's got to be something in the water. Anyway, yeah, people don't like that. Parents don't like that. Anyway.
My parents thankfully had
just gone through that with your brother the year and a half.
They handled it really well.
Yeah.
My parents handled it really well.
They were sitting on the side like, it's not going to work. They're not going to go through it. Just stay out of it. Yeah, that turned out fun. Let's see. We met. I was working at a store in Michigan called Moose Jaw Mountaineering. It's was back then like a mom and pop, like outdoor camping kind of store. The church that she was going to was just down the street. She got out of church, came to the store, poked her head in, and
because I had just bought a house.
You ever see those movies where like you open up the door and the lights shining in and like operas in the background and there's doves, something like that? Yeah, it didn't happen like that. She had just bought a house and she was interested in getting a kayak because she lived right down the street from a lake.
Yes.
And she wanted to go kayaking. And I introduced myself as her future husband and she said yes. No, that's not how that happened. I said, I have the kayak that you're looking for. Exactly. Where do you live? We ended up exchanging contact information. This is before I had a cell phone and all that stuff, and one thing led to another, and
I went out, tried his kayak, found out he was in high school.
She was interested,
and
if you know what I mean.
We hung out as friends.
You hung out as friends?
You were a little rough around the edges, and I wanted to just hang out and be a good influence on you. The second that I found out you were in high school, I was just like, nope. And that's when
she met me and was interested.
The tables turned and you pursued me And I was like, nope. But
I did not pursue you like that. I wanted to hang out with you.
Yes.
You were interested, and all of my friends were not interested in doing the same thing that I wanted to do because they were either too busy or whatever.
You might want to elaborate on that.
Like mountain biking, kayaking, and all that kind of stuff. And I met you, and you were interested, and you wanted to do it, like do all those things. And you fell madly in love with me. Like, I don't know how you can deny that.
So within 2 months, we were dating, and 2 months from that, we were engaged. And within
8 months.
8 months of meeting each other,
within 1 year. Within 1 year.
No, it was less than a year.
No, we met in September, got married in August. It was like 2 months. It was like 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away from our 1 year meeting date.
Okay.
We met, and less than a year later, we were married.
Yes.
And then 17, 15, what year is it? 23. This will be year 18. So we got married when I was 19 and she was 24. And I'm now 36 and she's 42.
So I spent about a decade waiting for him to grow up.
I spent about a decade for her to stop hating me. I mean, she was such a stubborn woman. Apparently, it's normal for women to get upset when their husbands are just total jerks, and I didn't know that. So, yep.
I remember realizing that, like, this is not logical, this does not make sense, but I feel like this is what God wants me to do. And I just kept following that. And through all of our bad years, I just kept following that.
It was pretty dark and decrepit for a while.
Miserable.
Like, I don't even think there was a heartbeat. Like,
however, we kept having children, so I don't know how you can
rightfully you can explain that one. You know, there was something. So I don't know. That's a whole, like, we could do a whole YouTube.
I buried myself in
everything.
Raising our children.
Work, raising children, and I don't know what I did. So
I don't know what you did either.
Yeah,
drove around chasing boats.
Okay, Donna, I hope that answered your question. And for all of you who didn't ask that question, now you know. And if you've heard that story before, it's a great story. It really is a true, genuine love story. There's like this unbelievable renovation of the heart and restoration in a home, and God is one to give the glory for all of that because of what has happened. And
I pretty much got demobilized in the process.
Yeah, all good.
But it was necessary because I am stubborn.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, I'm just gonna take you out so that you can move over and let this boy figure it out.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's that. There was a couple comments here. Hi from Kayberry, Illinois, from Little Blue House Farm. What's up from Illinois? Tina says, thank you for the answer. Sounds great. No problem, Tina. Judy says, gluten-free recipes would be great. For now, I'm also grain and dairy free, trying to heal from Hashimoto's, Epstein-Barr, and more. I do mostly just above breads. Good idea, sprouts and chicken salad. Yes. Honestly, you can't go wrong with chicken, bacon, and lettuce. Like, and then you can top that with cherries and maple syrup, and it's delicious. Karen says, I love that you didn't give up on your marriage. Too many people to give up too easily. Yes. Well, I'm naive and didn't think there was any other way, and she was too stubborn to walk away. And
I remember. What are you? You're touching me in your floor. I remember telling friends of mine that, you know, eventually someday things are going to be different, and that I was going to write a book called Worth the Wait. Because
it's worth the wait.
I don't know.
It's worth the wait.
No, just worth the wait.
Worth the wait.
And because, man, I felt like it was like, that was, I think, just the whole, like, that was
the element of hopelessness that you were experiencing.
But I had hope, but it was more like it was hope in like this big picture as opposed to hope in the day to day, because I had no hope in the day to day.
Oh yeah.
So I just
Oh.
held on to the big picture hope, and thankfully I'm a big picture thinker, and so that I think was a gift from God
That's why you married me.
to help me stick around for 12 years till you finally.
It was not 12 years. Let's see. 2005, 15, 16, 17. Okay, maybe we'll see. All right. Happy New Year to everyone. Big heart sending love to you all from Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad.
Colorado.
Is that Colorado?
Trinidad is in Colorado, unless there's another
Is there
Trinidad.
another? And I don't know where Tobago is. What's up, Keisha? Let us know. So
Last question.
Last question. How did we get so Ladybug Lane asked how we got started hosting an Azure pickup. Well, we were going to a drop, and
We came down to a drop twice.
Yep.
Maybe 3 times.
Yep. And then we were like, this is ridiculous. Our order is so big, the truck will just come to us. And it did. And that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody found our drop. And then somebody else found our drop. And then word spread that we have an awesome drop.
You're kind of very mistaken, but
That's how I remember it. No, we
So we actually came to be drop coordinators a little bit differently, because we actually started out as a wholesale drop. And we were, as we mentioned earlier, we had a buying club that we did, or food co-op, or something like that. That's a long story. But so we started out as a wholesale drop, where we weren't necessarily drop coordinators. We were just coordinating our own order. And for a while there, when we lived in Franktown, we would pick up just like at the same place as the existing drop point, but we would have like a half-hour slot before, because our order was separate from theirs. And then eventually
The reason I don't remember this is because I was a jerk husband back then.
because you didn't pay attention to what was going on. And so that was the first like 3 or 4 years that we were a drop, like we did Azure. And then when we moved to Monument is when we started. But I am thinking we did do an actual drop at some point, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't remember.
But when we moved to Monument, when we lost our farm, lost everything, moved to Monument, we started an actual just normal drop. And we just started saying, I think it's like a $500 minimum. It was a $500 minimum for us. The minimum for your drop is based off of how far you are away on the route from the other drops, and like how much drive time it's going to take for the drivers to get to you. And so we just committed to, we'll just do $500 of our grocery budget at least every month, and we'll fulfill the drop commitment. And then people started adding, like joining our drop, and then COVID hit and it like exploded.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then we moved, and it's just continued to grow. It dropped a lot last 2 months. I think just Christmas.
But the thing that we've always done different, and this probably, the reason why we probably like did it this way is because when we were operating as a food co-op, we ordered everything for everybody, and we sorted and distributed it along with a lot of other orders from other vendors, local farmers and big vendors and all of that. And so that's kind of the way that we've always done Azure. But I understand that the way that a traditional Azure drop is run, where everybody meets the truck, and everybody sits there and waits and sorts and all of that. We've just, after being part of that for the few times that we did order that way, it was so disorganized. Even when it's organized, it's inefficient with people's time, because you're, especially like from my perspective, where I had to go with our kids, I couldn't, like, I know that a lot of people like the social aspect of it, but when you have kids and you're trying to pay attention and supervise your kids and pay attention to your order, trying to have a conversation with someone along with all of that, just, it's not the ideal environment for me. And so that is why we run the drop the way that we do, where we meet the truck. The truck, unfortunately, does not come to our home, which even if it did, we'd have to get it down the driveway.
Yeah,
So it's like, it doesn't matter. It has to go, it has to get transported one way or another. And so we go like 2 minutes down to the end of our neighborhood and meet the truck. And then we bring everything home and we sort it. And our kids help in that process. And that is something that we have looked at as, this is our way to serve our community as a family. And for a little while there, we didn't look at it that way. And when people are not nice and they
aren't nice,
they're not nice, it makes it really difficult. And
it made it difficult. We almost shut it down.
We did. Like, we order enough to just get our own stuff. We should just get our own stuff and just let these people deal with this themselves.
So then there was a heart change, and we took it, like Chrissy said, to an attitude of servants, and
it's a good opportunity for our kids to learn how to deal with difficult people.
Yeah. As
well.
Yeah, I mean, not just you. So awesome.
So yeah, and then the other part, like for a while there, we were only doing scheduled pickup, so people can go on and schedule the time, like schedule a time block that they want to come to pick up their stuff. And I realized that, a lot of people, they are used to having the flexibility with picking up their Azure order, and they're okay with changing their schedule at the last minute, when like a week, whatever, 5 days in advance. Yeah. And so we started hosting an open pickup where there's half hour, or sometimes we do 2 half-hour blocks, where people, they just come in that time block, they come get their stuff. It's right after, like, we get the order, bring it back, sort it, and then it's right after that, so we don't have to worry about refrigerating everything in the order.
Well, this time of year,
yes, it's easy, but summer is difficult.
Summer's tricky, yeah.
And so that also gives an opportunity that if people do want to hang out and chat, they can. And there's not a bunch of like sorting going on and this going on and trying to get the truck driver out. That was another thing. We were trying to get the truck driver in and out as quickly as possible, especially when that COVID thing hit and our orders were getting so big and the truck drivers were getting, like,
just slammed.
They're stuck at these drop points trying to sort stuff. Yeah. And so that's kind of how we came about doing the things the way that we do them. I've heard of a few other people that do it in a similar manner. I've also heard of drop coordinators who totally have nothing to do with their drop, and
they just get their
people
stuff
that order just have to go figure it out on their own.
So Keisha says that it's in the Caribbean or Caribbean island, close to Venezuela.
That Trinidad, I know where that is.
Colorado.
There does happen to be a Trinidad in Colorado. I'm not going to say what it is known for because it's not something to be proud of in my book.
What's Trinidad known for?
You don't know?
No.
I'll tell you later.
Huh. Small world I live in. Okay. Well, enjoy
the search for what is in Trinidad, Colorado.
No, that's okay. Some things are left unknown. And I'm okay with that. Well, enjoy the Caribbean area. I don't know nothing of that area. Like, it's a whole nother world. If it's
probably beautiful.
Well, this is beautiful.
Peaceful.
This is peaceful.
Yes, it is. It is.
but
I
it's
love
just
it.
different. And I don't know, maybe we'll go there one day. So
Yeah.
enjoy where you're at and all of that. Can't believe they have internet down there. I just think of like Pirates of the Caribbean. Like it's still like, you know, like wooden ships and sails and like.
You're so well
Yeah, I know.
versed in the world.
Yep. That's okay. So, all right. I think that answers all the
I think
questions.
that's all the questions.
If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. Again, congratulations to those of you who won. And we just truly hope that what we're doing is a blessing for you, your family, and what we're doing to help you in this journey, because food is a huge part of our life.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
that's it.
All right.
Happy New Year. We'll see you next time. How do we stop? But
X on the top.
are you okay? Yep. See ya.